Hey, good morning. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope y'all are doing well. Thank y'all for stopping by my house for a great show. I got some great topics for you guys, so I hope y'all are ready for a good show. Hopefully you got your coffee and your tea and you're getting where you need to be this morning very safely. All right, y'all be safe out there. Bundle up. It is cold outside. That hawk is flying low. All right. But let's get into our show. Let's speak to everybody so we can go ahead and get into the mess of the mess. Let's scroll on to the top, child, so we can see who we got up in here. My top flight mod is in the building. Rose Armstead, thanks for being here, Rose. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's see. Keep going. Felicia is in the house. Denise Slate is here. Verdi Tulu Taylor is here. Shirley Terry is here. Gail West is here. Marion's Favorites is here. Yvette McCovery is here. D Nice is in the building. Good morning. Cassandra D is here. Shawnee's Darden is here. Audrey Williams is here. Kim Jones is in the building. Good morning. Good morning. Let's keep going. We got some more. Caramel is here. Oh, that's me. Let's keep going. My other top flight mod is in the building. True TV Podcast is here. Good morning. Good morning, Kim Swinson. Good morning. Let's keep going. We said those. Sheila Washington is here. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. Carla Burrell is here. Good morning, Carla. Good morning. Miss Honeybee is here. Good morning, Miss Honeybee. Good morning. Let's see who else we got. Immaculate Davis is here. Miss Bernadette Clemens is here. Faith Williams is in the building. Vernetta Stewart is here. Good morning. Arthur Johnson is here. Let's see who else we got. Miss Ash 504 is here. Greatness Love is in the building. Hi. Let's put y'all up there on the screen too, honey. I'm trying to go so fast. All right, Bernadette. All right. I'm trying to make sure I click on everybody so y'all can get y'all shine this morning, honey. We got to give y'all shine. Miss Elaine Flowers is here. Good morning. Good morning. Wanda, the nurse advocate, is here. Tam C is in the building. Good morning. Valerie Rayleigh is in the building. Good morning. Good morning. Mary Jacobs is here. All right. I see you guys still coming in. Lori Bell Carter, I see you here, love. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming by. Lillian K1 is in the building. Good morning. Why I don't see Lori Bell? Hold on, let me go back. My phone, I'm looking at my phone and I'm looking at you guys on the screen as well. I see you, Trina Dean is in the building. I see you. Thanks for being here. Good morning. All right, let me wet my whistle, honey, so we can get talking. I see you, Celeste Hamilton. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning. Good morning. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Everything said in the video is alleged and, in my opinion, and is used for fair use and entertainment. All right, let me don't take none of this serious, honey. It's just news that I hope you guys can use. All right, let's get into the show. Politics is first. That's where we'll begin. All right, let's get it up on the screen. Hey, JCD Creation. Say, hey, Rel. Good morning. Thanks for stopping by. That's a content creator. Y'all check her out. All right. Let's get into it. Y'all still waking up a little bit, so y'all bear with me, okay? I'm not a morning person. It takes me a little bit. Y'all know if you've been watching me for a little bit, y'all know it takes me a little bit to kind of crank up. But we're here. All right, we're going to give y'all a good show. Shout out to Black Millionaire. So Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who currently represents the 30th District in Dallas, will be impacted by the new Texas map that favors Republicans. Now, she would have to rerun in the newly 33rd District. I feel like they're doing anything to get her out of office because she is pressure on the damn Republicans. She stay on their ass. You hear me? I love it. But let's get into it. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, okay, who currently represents Texas 30th District in Dallas, may soon find herself campaigning in entirely new territory. Now, a newly proposed congressional map in Texas, one widely criticized in favoring Republicans' gain, would significantly alter the boundaries of her district, placing Crockett outside of the area that she currently serves. Now, under the proposed redistricting plan, it says that Crockett would no longer reside in the 30th District. Instead, she would fall within the newly configured 33rd District, meaning that she would have to run for re-election there in the map, or if the map rather is finalized. Now, with the representatives not being legally required to live inside their district, it says that political experts say that running outside of it can represent challenges, making the shift far from significant. Now, the map changes, which have sparked controversy among Democrat lawmakers, Democratic lawmakers, would reshape several urban districts and potentially dilute Democratic voting power across the state. Now, Crockett, a rising political figure known for her sharp advocacy and national presence, could face a dramatically different political landscape in the next election cycle. All right. So the Supreme Court ruled in favor of Texas revamping its congressional maps, which ultimately favored Republicans. So she would need to rerun again. I think she will win because she does have a lot of people, especially Democrats, that support her. So yeah, y'all, if you live in the Texas area, y'all go ahead and vote her back in there if they're trying to get her out. All right. If she has to rerun, go ahead and vote her back in because she does have great intention and she does have a heart for the people. All right. And I love the way she be reading their asses down. So shout out to Jasmine Crockett. She is definitely loved over here on this channel. Moving right along, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who got read down by Jasmine Crockett a little bit back. Y'all remember wide back, big body. I was like, oh my God. I don't know how she's gonna come from under that read. You will forever be known as read down by Jasmine Crockett, honey. So let's get into this. Marjorie Taylor Greene exposes what lawmakers really say about Trump behind closed doors. Y'all know she does not cap for Trump anymore. She's saying as of January coming up, or is it February? The beginning of 2026, she's stepping down from her political office because she no longer wants to back Trump and his bullshit. And I respect that. So shout out to Baller Alert. Let's get into it. All right.
They talk differently?
Yes.
How?
Oh, it would shock people.
Well, let's shock people.
Okay. I watched many of my colleagues go from making fun of him, making fun of how he talks, making fun of me constantly for supporting him, to when he won the primary in 2024, they all started, excuse my language, Leslie, kissing his ass and decided to put on a MAGA hat for the first time.
Behind the scenes, do they talk differently?
Yes.
How?
Oh, it would shock people.
Well, let's shock.
So, of course, you know, when a person decides to jump ship and not support you anymore, what's the first thing they do is snitch. And that's exactly what she is doing. Marjorie Taylor Greene, honey, sat down for a tense and revealing segment on 60 Minutes, and she did not hold back. Now, during the conversation, the interviewer passed her on what lawmakers really say about Donald Trump when the cameras are off. Greene, of course, did not hesitate. She said that when asked whether politicians speak differently behind closed doors, she simply said yes. I think we all know that, right? But when pushed to explain what she meant, said that Greene made it clear that the shift she witnessed was dramatic. I'm sorry, y'all. Said that she shared that before Trump secured the 2024 primary, that several of her colleagues regularly joked about him, mocked the way that he spoke, and even took shots at her for standing by him. Now, according to Greene, the tone flipped the moment he became the party's nominee. All right, so Greene described a sudden wave of support, claiming that the same figures who previously cracked jokes were now attempting to cozy up to Trump and publicly align themselves with his base. She said that the overnight change was so extreme that some were eager to throw on a MAGA hat for the first time. Child, that's some loyalty right there, ain't it? What do y'all think about that? Let me know. Y'all go ahead and sound off. We still don't like you, Marjorie. So thank you for exposing Trump and telling all of that. We still don't check for you, baby. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. All right, so we're done with politics. We're now into topics, okay? We don't have a lot of politics. Let's get into the mess. Let's get into some mess and some topics, okay? Because that's what y'all like. And we got them over here. All right, shout out to the 169 watching. Please go ahead and tap on that like if you've not done so. All right, step out, tap the like, and come on back. We'll be here still giving you guys news I know you can use. Let's get into it. Shout out to Neighborhood Talk. A Nebraska man runs out of the courthouse after learning that he would be booked into jail and burst through the emergency exit doors, causing $15,000 in damages. All he could see, child, is those doors clanking behind his ass. And he said, bitch, not today. So he broke up out of there so that his ass would not be locked up. Now, they're saying that it was something very small that he was going to have to deal with court-wise. But he was just like, I think he thought about jail, baby. He got the hell out of there. So let's go ahead and watch, and then we'll do our commentary on the back end.
This security camera footage from the Douglas County Courthouse capturing the moment investigators say 33-year-old Stephen Henry rushes to the emergency exit, attempting to leave. The doors are locked, so he tries slamming against them. You can see the glass shatter in the top left corner of the door, but that doesn't stop him. He tries to get a running start before slamming his shoulder into the doors again. Still, they don't budge. After multiple attempts, finally, on the 7th try, Henry slams into the doors and wedges himself between the now busted left door and the still locked right door. Then he takes off.
He caused a lot of damage to the door.
An estimated $15,000 in damage, to be specific.
He was there because he had some warrants that he wanted to clear up. And then upon learning that he was going to have to get booked into jail that day, he fled the courtroom.
How was that able to transpire?
There's a deputy in the courtroom. At the time, the deputy was processing another person who came in off the street that day that had to be booked in. And so it just happened to be a small amount of time where there wasn't a deputy available.
Typically, when that happens, the sheriff's office says the judge will wait for the deputy to return before moving on to anyone in the courtroom with a warrant. But they say in this case, Henry was alerted to his outstanding warrants and took off before the deputy could return. The sheriff's office says this photo shows Henry walking away from the courthouse after busting through the emergency exit, which is now boarded up.
The two previous that he had going into court that day, the contempt warrant, and then he's wanted on the felony destruction of property.
Henry is a convicted felon. The sheriff's office says past charges include things like burglary, assault, and criminal impersonation.
DCSO tells me earlier this afternoon, Henry actually posted a Facebook Live video. During it, they say he confessed to leaving the courtroom after the judge told him he had 2 warrants for his arrest. But he says that he didn't start running until after he left the courtroom. The sheriff's office says they do have investigators out looking for Henry, and if you see him, you can report it to 911.
This security
I need to hear what the reward money gonna be first. All right. If I see Henry, I need to see that money first. Give me that number that I need to call and let me know what y'all got on that reward money. Then I might go ahead and give Henry up. Okay. No, I haven't seen Henry. Let me go ahead and put that on record. I have not seen Henry, but if I just so happen to be out and about and Henry comes by and I see him, I need to be inclined to call so that I can get the money first. All right. Pay me first and I will give you the location. That's how it works. All right. We exchanging, all right. But not on a serious note. Wherever Henry is, baby, turn yourself in. They're gonna find you. If you got a warrant, it's just inevitable, child. You can be anywhere. Warrants do not go away. They do not expire. So just make it easier on yourself. Go ahead and get that time out the way, honey. And be done with it. Broke these people door and everything. They're gonna charge your ass for all of that. But yeah, so 33-year-old Stephen Henry, as you guys just saw, bust through the doors, honey. The judge probably shouldn't have alerted him until they had a deputy there to make sure that he did not escape. But obviously he didn't have on no handcuffs or anything else. And he was able to get out of there to get away from them damn charges right quick. But you just only added more. So if you probably gonna get about a few months or so, or maybe a year, you're probably gonna be getting way more than that now. And you got another warrant out for your ass. Where they're looking for you, okay? But again, y'all go ahead and put that reward money out there. And if I see Henry, I'll let you know, okay? Because we don't work for free over here. No, we don't. All right, let's get into the next topic. Ciao. All right, so this topic right here, shout out to Neighborhood Talk. So beauty queen, I don't know what that is, but a beauty queen accused of beating her boyfriend's son and unaliving him breaks down after being found not guilty of malice unaliving, but quickly pulls it together as the jury convicts her of felony unaliving instead. So she thought she was going to get out of that. Okay. She thought she was going to get out of it. So let's read up first so that we can be up on what's going on. All right. So Georgia beauty queen has been sentenced to life in prison for the possibility of parole with the possibility of parole after 30 years of the unaliving of her boyfriend toddler's son. Now, Trinity Pogu, who is 20 years old, was found guilty of felony unaliving and aggravated battery in the unaliving of an 18-month-old Romeo J.D. Angeles, who she allegedly beat to death in her dorm room at Georgia Southwestern State University while his father went to pick up a pizza. She was acquitted of malice unaliving. Child, see, that's why you don't leave your kids with people. Now, during the reading of the verdict, Pogu broke down in tears when found not guilty of malice unaliving, but when the jury returned a guilty verdict of felony unaliving and aggravated battery, she quickly regained her composure. Now, during the trial, prosecutors pointed to Pogu alleged resentment towards the toddler. I'm live. Telling jurors that she texted her roommate, "I can't stand being around JD anymore. He hates me and I hate him," and adding that she wanted to start a family with Williams, but not that child. So it's given that she had some type of animosity towards this baby. Maybe he cried too much. I don't know. He was 18 months old. So I'm not sure what your anger would be towards a 18-month-old child. So Pogu was crowned Miss Donaldsville in 2023 and later competed in the National Peanut Festival pageant. She has since been stripped of her title. Great for her. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the video here.
The verdict reads as follows as to each count. On count one, it says, "We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty." On counts 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, the verdict reads, "We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of felony murder, 2 counts, aggravated battery, 2 counts, and cruelty to child in the 1st degree." Y'all can have a seat. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a tough week for you, I'm sure, and I know that you probably had a lot of places you would have rather been this week than here. I do want to thank you tremendously for your service. You have shown up, you've been on time, and you've paid thorough attention. You've taken in a lot of information this week.
The primary sources of friction in this relationship, and what you hear is this, that Trinity Pogue resented this child. She was sort of placed in a stepmother role that wasn't the role she wanted to be in, that she wanted to have a family, she wanted to have children, she wanted to have a child or children with Jay Williams, but not that child. She wanted her own child with Jay Williams. The primary sources of
So again, watch who you leave your children with. She really thought she was going to get away with this situation where she cried, well, fake cried, because I ain't seen not one damn tear, but she fake cried after hearing not guilty. That's all she wanted. He was not guilty, but she didn't wait to hear the entire verdict before she started celebrating. But of course, she was found guilty of felony, okay? Felony unaliving, which she probably will get a whole lot of time, okay? Probably 40, 50 or so years. But for her to, this beautiful baby, look at him. How could you have some type of malice or anger or whatever towards this beautiful baby? And then the father, you have to read the room, watch how this person acts around your child. I'm pretty sure there had to be some signs there, or maybe she was just great at pretending that she loved this child in front of him. But then when she was not around the father, maybe she was doing things, and that's why you got to watch. She might have had some animosity towards the child's mother. That's why you have to watch who you allow around your children. You have, if you have a child with someone and they're dating someone else, make sure you know who this person is, because sometimes they will do something to your child to get back at you. That happens all the time. It happens all the time. And I feel like this woman here, something crazy was going on with her. She was saying she wanted kids of her own with this person, but you did not want to receive this child. This child comes as a package. If you're dating someone with children, you can't just say, "Oh, I love you," and not your kids. Kids are a package deal when you're dating someone. So for you to do what you did to this child, I'm pretty sure this child was in a lot of agony, pain, was crying, whatever she did to this child. I'm glad justice was served nevertheless. All right, let's continue on, child. This is sad, but thank God for justice. All right, moving right along. Watch your kids and watch who you allow around your kids. All right, if you got a problem with me, you can't watch my child. I say that all the time. If you got a problem with me, you don't like me, you can't be around my child. No, I will not leave my child around you, and I don't want you around mine, because if he come home and tell me that something happened to him, we got to deal with that, okay? I don't like orange, but I'll put it on for him, okay? Catch that. All right, so Antonio Brown pushes to have his attempted unaliving charge dismissed under Stand Your Ground law. I don't think that will work. But let's go ahead and read up. Shout out to Baller Alert. I'm serious. Don't play by the kids, honey. Don't play by them. All right, so Antonio Brown is asking a Florida court to throw out a second-degree attempted unaliving charge tied to a pow-powing outside of an amateur boxing event in Miami. Now, his attorney filed a request this week, arguing that Florida Stand Your Ground statute shields him from prosecution in this case. Now, Brown's current legal trouble began after the confrontation on May 16th. Now, said that he left the country soon after and remained in Dubai for 6 months. Now, the United States Marshals later returned him to Florida, where he entered a not guilty plea. Now, they said if the state secures a conviction, that he could serve up to 30 years in the prison. That's a long time. Bitch, I would have hid out in another country where you couldn't have been extradited. That's what you should have done. But now his attorney, Mark, English, provided ESPN with the motion filed on Monday. Now, in this motion, the defense claims that Brown only used force because he believed he was in immediate danger. Now, Brown's use of force on May 16th of 2025 was fully justified. The motion says that Brown reasonably believed that the alleged victim intended to cause him serious harm. Now, the man identified as the alleged victim, Zul Kwame Natambu, strongly disputes Brown's versions of events. His attorney, Richard Cooper, criticized the defense filing and stated that it does not reflect what occurred. So it sounds like somebody lying here. Now, he described the motion as a partial reimaging of the incident. Prosecutors support Natumbi's position, stating that Brown chases Natumbi down and pow-pows at him at point-blank range. Now, if someone is running away from you, they are no longer a threat. Okay? I don't know if any of you guys own firearms. I think you definitely need to read up on and educate yourself. If someone breaks into your house and they run out of your house and you chase them down and pow-pow them, they are not seen as a threat and you could be charged. Now, if they're in your home, they break into your home and you have to pow-pow that person for your protection, then yeah, then you are within right, okay? Give me 1 second, you guys. Sorry about that, guys. I'm here. All right. Again, what I was saying was, if you are a firearm owner, you have to understand how the rules and laws work in terms of owning a firearm. Again, if someone is running away from you, they're not seen as a threat. They're not seen as a threat. You could find yourself with some charges for unaliving that person if they were getting away. Now, again, like I said, they break into your home, they have a firearm, they're threatening your life and your family's life. You have every reason and or right to protect yourself. But in this incident here, I don't think he can use your stand your ground if you're chasing that person that they're not seen as a threat anymore. So we're going to wait to see how this pans out. He is facing 30 years if he is found guilty, okay? They also say that there's a video footage showing Brown holding a firearm close to the victim during the altercation. Florida Stand Your Ground law has shaped many high profile cases since it was enacted in 2005. The statute law allows individuals to use unaliving force if they believe that they are facing a serious threat, and of course they cut it off. Ball Alert does that all the time. But you guys understand what stand your ground law means. Georgia is a stand your ground state. I know Florida is, several other states as well. Read up to see if your state is a stand your ground, but also educate yourself on how stand your ground law works. You can't just be out here pow-powing at people and say, oh, I'm stand your ground. No, that's not how it works, because your ass will be found guilty and serve some time behind it. Now, while it is perfectly legal for you to own a firearm legally, I would say that, but you have to know the rules and regulations that are attached to that, okay? Period, because they will lock your ass up out here. on some mess. You can't just be out here because you have a lot of people who be feeling Billy badass because they got a firearm and they feel like they can write their own rules and laws as related to that. But no, you have to follow the rules and regulations, okay, with owning a firearm. Thank you, guys. Let's move along, okay? Say he is touched, but not by an angel. Absolutely. So Diddy's mama is out here saying, bitch, now I know y'all watch this damn documentary, but ain't nobody slapped me. Now, y'all know the documentary on a Netflix documentary that was put out by 50 Cent on Netflix about Diddy and his life. In that documentary, it was said that Diddy had a moment where he ran up on his mother, called her the B word, and slapped the ish out of her. All right. She has come back to sound off to say, yeah, that's not true. That's very much so fabricated. That I was not slapped. My son never. Of course, you know she's going to say that because Diddy's getting a lot of negative press about this damn documentary. And of course, everybody was gasping when they heard that Diddy slapped her. I had already heard that on Art of Dialogue by Gene Deal, where he talked about that. He actually said he was there, and he actually threatened Diddy to say, hey, if you put your hands on your mom again, if I ever see you do that again, I'm going to beat your ass because that's your mom and you respect her as such. So I don't think Gene Deal or anyone else who witnessed that, or other people who also said they witnessed Diddy slap her, I don't think that they have a reason or right to be lying about that. But of course, Janice Combs is doing what she's always done since Diddy was a small child, protect him. And that's why he's turned out to be the way that he is, a fuck boy. Yes, I said it right here on my channel. He's dangerous. And I feel like he needs to stay where he is right now, which is in prison. There's a lot of people not here anymore, allegedly, because of Diddy. All right, so Diddy's mother denies that he slapped her following the 50 Cent documentary, which is on Netflix. Says that these inaccuracies regarding my son's family life is intentionally done to mislead viewers, okay? Let's go ahead and read up. Shout out to Neighborhood Talk. Said that Diddy's mother, Janice Combs, is breaking her silence following the release of 50 Cent's documentary on her son. Now, according to Deadline, it said that she put out a statement addressing what she calls misinformation in Diddy. Says The Reckoning, which is the title of the documentary on Netflix, which premiered on Netflix December 2nd. Now, says that these inaccuracies, this is what she's saying. These inaccuracies regarding my son, Sean, upbringing and family life is, intentionally done to mislead viewers and further harm our reputation, she stated. She claims that Netflix is promoting the salacious side of Diddy's controversies in an attempt to boost the documentary. Now, the allegations stated by Mr. Kirk Burrows, which worked very closely with Diddy, and also on, I think, 25% of the company during that time. She says that my son slapped me while we were conversing after the tragic City College events on December 28th, 1991 are inaccurate and patently false, according to Janice Combs. Now, what she's talking about here, if you guys did not see the documentary, it states on there that there was some type of event that Diddy put together where too many people were allowed into said gym, where some people were stampeded and trampled on. A few people died. I think it was 9 or 10 people to be exact, were trampled and stampeded at said event. Diddy act like he just didn't give a fuck. Okay. So they're saying in the documentary as well that Janice Combs said to him, do you think that you made a mistake by having this event? They said that Diddy became enraged and called her the B word and reached back like this, like a whole Ike Turner type situation, and slapped the shit out of her. It was witnessed by several people. So for her to say, no, that never happened. I get that you want to protect him, but if you got slapped, baby, you got slapped. I'm just saying. Said for him to use this tragedy and incorporate fake narratives to further his prior failed and current attempts to gain whatever was never his, said that Bad Boy Records is wrong, outrageous, and past offensive, according to Janice Combs. So she is sounding like she's outraged and upset that this was brought to light. Maybe that's how they handle things behind closed doors, but it's very disrespectful for someone to slap their own mother. We see the relationship. I've seen videos where I think it's kind of inappropriate. Diddy does not respect his mother because she lied to him for years about who his father was and never told him that his father was a gangster who got pow for being out in those streets and was a drug pusher as well. So Diddy once he found out by going to a library to find out who his father was and what his father was all about, he decided that he wanted to be this gangster. He wanted to be like his father, someone who he never got to know because his father was unalive during the time that he was a small child. Before, really, right after Diddy was born, he never got a chance to know his father. But his mother, Janice Combs, lied to him about who his father was and what was going on with his father. And after that, he resented her and he kind of treated her like a bitch off the streets. And it was said that all over Bad Boy Records and everywhere else that he would call her a bitch. Like it would just fly out like he was talking to another female that he was dealing with, and that's just something that he was allowed to do. So I don't think everybody is lying about this situation as related to Diddy and Janice Combs, which is his mother. She's very supportive of him because he's taking very good care of her. It's said that all of Diddy's businesses are in his name. In the event that someone tries to come after him and sue him, you can't get anything from him because he's transferred everything into her name. So she is going to always be loyal to him because of how he's taking care of her. He pays all of her bills. So yeah, I can see her lying for him if that's what she needs to do. But that's it, and that's all on that. Y'all can sound off in the comments about that. Someone else who had a lot to say about this Diddy documentary is none other than Ja Rule, who has been also fighting with 50 Cent as well for quite some time. He's resorted to now calling him out. Ja Rule is calling out 50 for doing this documentary and exposing Diddy. I kind of hope that Ja Rule would have stayed out of this. Quite a few people have come out to express their disdain for 50 doing this documentary, calling him a snitch. I don't think that's what it is. I think that he's pretty much bringing awareness to his arch enemy. Of course, he never liked Diddy. They've never been friends. And Diddy recently just sent some flowers to him, which I feel like was like a threat of maybe a hit that may be put out on 50 Cent, allegedly, because of this documentary and all of the information that it put out about Diddy. Now, I told you guys yesterday that a lot of the footage from this documentary that was never before seen, and the reason for that is because Diddy hired a videographer to follow him around for some months before he was actually arrested and put in jail for this whole Cassie and all these other charges that he was facing with RICO and everything else. But so Diddy decided not to pay his videographer, and this videographer, of course, reached out to 50 Cent. Why he did that, I don't know, but I'm glad he did. And he and 50 Cent struck up a deal to where this is said and rumored that 50 paid him more than the original amount that was agreed between Diddy and the videographer, and 50 was able to get his hands on said footage of Diddy, okay, and was able to put it into the documentary, which I thought was very, very wise of him to do because it's number one still on Netflix to this day. But Ja Rule, let's get into Ja Rule. Oh my God, right. Ja Rule has decided to hop into this situation and stir up another form of beef between he and 50 Cent, which I'm just like, you might want to leave 50 Cent alone because he is definitely on demon time. If he knows anything about you, Ja Rule, you could be the next documentary. It could be some shit about you because it said that you was taking some shit up the okay, that you was out here being schlonged out, if you will. So we don't want those secrets to be spilled because you're trying to cap for somebody who would not cap for you. I mean, you didn't go to the courthouse and testify on Diddy's behalf, but you're out here doing videos and going off because you have a common enemy, which is 50 Cent in this situation about Diddy. I didn't see you go and testify on Diddy's behalf. Diddy had no one testify on his behalf for his case. So why are you talking now? That's my question. When it really mattered, which was when they had the trial, you didn't come up there and get dressed and go up there. Kid Cudi went up there and testified. Your ass didn't testify though. I ain't see you. But now here you are. But let's get into the mess. All right. So they said, social media has reacted while speculating about Ja Rule calling 50 Cent a snitch over his Netflix documentary about Diddy. Let's look at some of the messages because child. All right. Ja Rule says, Ninja always telling on somebody, oh dry snitch, Ninja. Ja Rule also goes on to say, you rat, always have been, always will be a effing rat. Used car salesman, suit wearing, field goal nose having Herman Monster head ass Ninja. Damn. He got some real anger, right? Let's continue. 50 like I don't really 50 like I don't give a damn. Okay. So this person here says that look at you watching his moves. So they're going in on Ja Rule. This person here said that mad because he ain't make a documentary about you, huh? Okay. So people are tearing into Ja Rule for coming for 50 about the documentary. Another person said that we hope that you enjoyed the docuseries, bruh. Laughing emojis. Another person says, I'll call 50. I'll call at 50 you, Ja Rule. That didn't make any sense. This other person said that when you are past the age of 30, there's no such thing as snitching. Grow up, LOL. So this person here is capping for Ja Rule by saying, tell him, Ja. Another person says at 50 cents, so they're adding 50. So I'm sure he's seeing all of this going on. Said that you really need to beat this guy one more time. Ooh, not the violence, child. This next person says that you doing all of this over Puffy, my boy. Right. Puffy he spoke up for you not one time. So they says here, he definitely took you shopping, meaning y'all know what the whole joke behind that, meaning if Diddy take you shopping, then he gonna get the booty brownies. That's what they're saying here. So another person says, are you mad that 50 Cent ruined your rap career? Damn. So another person said, no way you're calling anyone a used car salesman when you sold people a luxury experience and gave them cheese sandwiches and a disaster relief tent. And that's exactly what happened. Damn. Oh, that was a read. So this next person says, LOL, we only know who you're talking about because he posterized your entire career. Ooh, child. This person here says the 50 is petty ASF, meaning as but laughing my ass off, somebody is definitely mad, and I mean said that this shit is hilarious. We all see why you got so offended. Wow. Another person then goes on to say that you should focus on the fact that you got punched in your face not very long ago at a Monica and Brandy show at that. LOL. Ooh, damn. So that was a nice little read. So a lot of people are looking like they're taking up more so for 50 Cent, and they're not feeling Ja Rule coming out and trying to read 50 Cent for doing this documentary. A lot of people enjoyed the documentary, obviously, because it's number one on Netflix still to this day. And there was a lot of information in there, but 50 Cent, y'all know, is petty as hell, honey. He will not stop until he exposed the hell out of you. And I feel like this has been brewing for quite some time. I knew he was going to do the documentary after there had been so many rumors of them saying that it was a documentary coming out on Diddy by 50 Cent. I was like, oh yeah, this shit about to be epic, because the two of them don't like each other, and 50 Cent just has a new level of petty when it comes to Diddy. And here we are with this damn documentary out, and it's like the talk of the town. It's been out now like for a whole week, and it's still talked about like they just dropped it yesterday. So shout out to 50 Cent for that. And Ja Rule, calm your ass down, all right? Because you ain't nothing to look at either. You cannot attack this man's looks because you look like a little rat. So sit your ass down somewhere. Oh, okay. Murder. Move right along. Nigga ain't nothing to look at all. Moving right along. Child. So Gene Deal, since we mentioned him, we got to get into it now. Misa Hilton, she's also upset about this documentary because she was mentioned in the documentary as well about her, I guess, finagling with different rappers and other people. Gene Deal has been also saying that Wolf is said to be the father of Misa's son versus Diddy. Y'all know Misa been running around saying that Diddy was the father of her son, Justin, who was also mentioned in the documentary, where it was said that he was in a bathroom when someone was pow-powed, and he helped cover up a pow-pow incident with Diddy in the documentary. So Misa is saying that since the documentary dropped, that she and her son are now being harassed, and people have been coming for them, and she don't feel safe. Girl, get the fuck out of here. I feel like it's total deflection. You're upset that maybe some charges may be coming on your son, and that you may be questioned as well. So now it's let me play victim, because weren't long ago that you were saying that you didn't even want your son around Diddy because of some of the things that he was being exposed to, and you wanted him to take a different path in life. But we already know that Diddy uses his sons, allegedly, to do things and get, do his dirty work. The one that looked just like him, child, Christian Combs, is the spitting image of Diddy, and I feel like he do a lot of things that he's seen his father do as well. Do I feel like charges could come from this documentary? Possibly, because it's already said that Diddy was the one who set up the hit on not just Biggie, but Tupac as well. And we already know that some other things and other people who were said to be unalived and things that happened in the documentary, like I said, could lead back to Diddy. Diddy, you rapped in a song and you mentioned something about a hit in terms of Tupac as well. So I think it's starting to rub a lot of people the wrong way, especially if they were mentioned in the documentary. But Gene Deal responds to Misa Hilton and says that she should be blaming Diddy for her feeling harassed and not him, and claims that he always helped her and hints that she was allegedly sleeping around. All right, so I'm gonna play this and I have some more news on this situation as well. Danny Boy, y'all remember Danny Boy from back in the day. He also exposes Misa Hilton as well for being the thought monster that she was back in the day. So who knows who her baby's father is? Okay, I feel like it's Wolf because the boy looks just like him, but it could be Suge Knight, and we'll show you guys that here in a second. Let's get into it. Shout out to It's on Site.
Bro, I saw that today. Somebody sent me that shit today, man. And my whole thing about it is, Misa, how am I harassing you? I've never harassed you. I've always been a protector of you so far until now. You understand? For you to go and try to snake that whole situation and saying, I'm the reason why you being harassed. No, your ex is the reason why you being harassed.
Period.
You understand? Your ex is the reason why your son is the way he is. You know what I'm saying? This is what happened, and I'm gonna let you know. Another YouTuber, one or two, came out and said that Justin is Wolf's father. I mean, Wolf is Justin's father.
Mm-hmm.
Another YouTuber came out and said that Wolf is Justin's father. Wolf is a former bodyguard of Bad Boy that was murdered by an associate with BMF. So now, I never said nothing, yay, nay, or whatever. Me and Puff is beefing. You understand? I'm not gonna come out and play Super Saver Hole or anything. You understand? I ain't got nothing to do with it. I might allude to, maybe he is, maybe he ain't. He shoot motherfuckers in the studio. Wolf was that type of dude. So I didn't say nothing. But I know the difference. I know that he wasn't, because they had a blood test. They did that paternity test and shit like that to prove that Justin was his son. Puff was mad the whole 9 yards because he had to pay Misa a large amount of child support, which he was starving her at first. He wasn't doing nothing for his son. That's why Suge Knight took that picture of Misa and Justin when he was hugging Misa, saying what the East Coast won't take care of, the West Coast will. You understand? I told everybody about that whole picture, and then everybody said I was lying and shit, and then somebody released Suge in the same clothes that he took that picture in, playing with Justin on the floor. You understand? So now Misa is mad at me and upset with me because I didn't clarify that. You understand? It wasn't for me to clarify, Misa.
At all.
I ain't harassed you not one time. I ain't harassed you when you owe me $750. I let it go. You've been having the money allegedly to pay me. You know what I'm saying? You got to deal with MCM. You could have sent me a bag. You could have did anything to make it good. But you just said, fuck it. Now you being harassed by Gene Deal. Ain't never harassed you.
Boom. That's some tea right there for you, right? So Gene was like, bitch, I ain't never harassed you. I just spoke facts. I was there as Diddy's bodyguard, and there's some things that I saw. It's no secret. A lot of people were saying that Misa was sleeping around, not just with Diddy, but with Suge Knight as well. I'm getting ready to play y'all the video because Danny Boy was there. He witnessed it. Hell, he said, I used to watch her son used to sit in the room with me while she came over to lay up with Suge Knight. So Misa, Mary J. Blige, and some other people were, Faith Evans, they're saying, were some loose girls back in the day. They hung around the West Coast dudes versus the East. They were running around sleeping with everybody. So they were messing with the enemies pretty much. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. Say no more. Shout out to Gene Deal on that. Okay, Danny Boy. Danny Boy was right there with Suge Knight back in the day. He also talked about when he was in his teens that he and Mary J. Blige were sleeping together. If you guys haven't seen that, go check him out on Art of Dialogue, where he sat down and did a whole interview about that. Mary J. Blige was a grown-ass woman and was sleeping with Danny Boy. All right, sleeping with Danny Boy. And they were also sleeping, like I said, with Suge Knight. And I feel like that's one of the reasons why the beef was so intensified by Diddy and Suge Knight, because he was passing his women around. And y'all know how men are. They're very territorial when it comes to their women. But let's get into it. The Cherie brand, shout out to her, because this is where I saw it from Danny Boy. Let's go.
Suge Knight and Misa. How many times was you around them when they was hanging out?
About 4 or 5 times.
So tell me some other stories, man, about Suge Knight hanging out with Misa. Because at this time, I mean,
it just felt like they was dating. Felt like they was dating all the time.
Was
like,
she doing that behind Puffy back?
Yeah, for sure, man. Whatever her first son was, like he would be at the studio with me.
Justin,
I remember Justin being in the hotel with me. With me. Like us just chilling while they chilling. And he was a little bitty boy. She's buying him shit. She bought him this red jacket that says 662 on it. I remember that leather jacket.
So here's the thing, man, with Bad Boy. Because you got all these females that was on Bad Boy or they was affiliated with Bad Boy. And me hearing all these stories from you, Reggie Wright, all these people that tells these stories, it seems like it's a pattern, right? You got Faith Evans. She was going through it with Biggie, so she was coming to LA and she was messing around with Tupac. Misa, I'm assuming that she probably most likely wasn't staying out of eye with Puffy. So she was messing around with Suge Knight. She would come to LA and mess around with Suge Knight. And Mary J. Blige, she wasn't on Bad Boy, but she was heavily affiliated with him. And you was messing with her, and Tupac was messing with her.
Yeah.
So Mary was messing with Danny Boy and Tupac at the same time.
So I want to get your opinion on that, man. Like, what was the deal with them females on Bad Boy, man? Like,
shit, what's the deal with all of them? It ain't shit changed. We just focusing in on it being now. Most females is in the industry that's all they mess with is industry niggas.
But they messing with y'all, and it was well known that it was friction between Death Row and Bad Boy.
It's most of it the same shit. It's just Death Row and Bad Boy was the biggest at it.
That's like trifling.
I mean, it is. But it's look how many of these trifling people making babies with, you know. I mean, ain't that don't one of them dudes got a baby with Bow Wow mama, baby mama, like
right.
Like this is what they do. And if you can look at it, you know, in all respect of me even telling these stories and sharing my real, you know what I mean? I have not a problem with Mary. I have not a problem with Misa, Puffy, or any of them people. I'm just telling it like it is. This is the truth, and it is what it is. But at this time, these was young bitches, period, point blank. They were young and looking to be around millionaire niggas having a good time. And it just happened to be some people that they were into it with at that time. But Mary had been coming to, who don't go to the West Coast? If you in the music industry, you got to go to the West Coast and the East Coast. You got to go to New York and LA. If you're in the music business at that time. So they were out partying with people probably that they wanted to get close to, that they were fans of. That's what's so crazy. These celebrities, like, even though you call this person a celebrity, they're still fans of people. They still want to, like him saying, I think I heard somebody say Monica was calling to try to sleep with Pop.
Whoa.
I don't.
That's one of the things that Diddy did not like about Tupac is because Tupac got all the women. A lot of women were falling like at Tupac's feet. They thought he was fine as hell. Something about I always said it was something about Tupac's eyes. It was something about those damn eyes that he had. He got a lot of women back then, and Biggie didn't like. I mean, Diddy didn't like that. Y'all remember when Diddy first came? If y'all look at the documentary, Diddy was not nothing to look at. Like his teeth was fucked up. He was a skinny, strongly, nerdy looking type of dude. So you look at somebody like Tupac, who was getting all the women, Suge Knight, who was this big guy that had all this power. The women were flocking to them, and Diddy didn't like that. So he made a goal to go after their women to, I guess, get this power and notoriety. It was like a game to him to say, hey, I could take your woman. But then to hear that the West Coast and East Coast was sleeping behind his back with his women who he was trying to claim, it kind of chipped away at his ego a bit. Because Diddy was very ego driven. So Suge Knight and them was steady sleeping with their women. We heard rumors about Tupac sleeping with Faith Evans. To this day, she's denied it. Maybe she don't want it on the record. But then she did a whole nother interview. I think it was on Art of Dialogue. I have to go back and look at it, where she openly admitted, said that she slept with a bunch of dudes back in the day, and that she was pretty much ran through by several people in the industry, that she was very sexually, out there. And then she was doing things that she really didn't want to do. She did drugs and she was sleeping with guys. So, So do I feel like she may have slept with Tupac? It's possible. If he's saying, hey, let me sleep with you and I'm going to give you this money. And if you don't give me, the kitty cat, then I'm not giving you this money. Do I feel like she may have done it? Yeah, but do I feel like she wanted on the record to say that she slept with Tupac, and maybe she don't want to be in the middle of their beef or to be the cause of or people blaming her for Biggie not being here anymore for her sleeping with Tupac, creating this East Coast, West Coast beef type of bullshit. So at the end of the day, these girls were out there sleeping around because at one point in time, Mary was also attached to Bad Boy. So and Mary was also at one point in time, whether you guys know it or not, was also attached to Diddy. Mary dated Diddy for a small part of her career. It was also rumored that she at one point got pregnant by him and had an AB or lost the baby. It's out there. Y'all go out there and read up on it. Child. That's all I do. I go and I educate myself on it and read up on it. But yeah, so Diddy was very ego driven, and it probably hurt his ego to see the women that he was trying to lay claim to be with somebody else. I mean, shit, he did it to Kim Porter when he found out Kim Porter was dating somebody else. He harassed that guy and even threatened to take him out. Even though he was dating J-Lo and even though he was dating Cassie, he still felt like he could lay claim to Kim Porter and she couldn't be with anybody else. But she was out dating and living her life. And Diddy was just out here making threats to people. So do I feel like that's possible? Yeah.
I don't know about that. I don't remember no shit like that. That's far-fetched.
Puff Daddy baby mama Sarah Chapman, and Tupac. You knew about that?
No, I didn't. Sarah.
That's another person, Sarah Chapman, who was supposed to be a friend of Kim Porter's. Diddy wound up sleeping with her and impregnating her. Okay, they have a daughter named Chance. Okay, yeah, Sarah Chapman was sleeping with Tupac and also turned around and was sleeping with Diddy. So they were sharing women. So yeah, that did bother Diddy because he had to come behind Tupac because Tupac had Sarah Chapman first.
Sarah Chapman. Mm-mm.
Yeah, Sarah Chapman. You never seen her around?
I haven't.
Yeah, here's a picture of her right here, yo.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, I've seen this picture before. She pretty as hell too. I seen it. I didn't know that was his baby mama though.
You seen her around?
For sure. I've seen her like probably at parties or something.
So around that time,
like I seen maybe at the casino, if I'm not mistaken. Now that I'm looking at her now, yeah, I seen her before in Vegas.
Oh wow,
I seen her in Vegas before.
So most of the girls that Diddy's been with the exception of, I'm gonna say Kim Porter. Kim Porter was a huge fan of Tupac though, which is something that Diddy did not like. Diddy did not like the fact that Kim Porter was a huge fan of Tupac. He probably in the back of his mind maybe thought, hey, did she sleep with that nigga or not? Because Diddy didn't like that shit. But most of the girls that Diddy had or kept around him, they were also involved or ran in circles with Suge Knight and his crew.
Yeah. But I don't know too much about her. That's his baby mom?
Yeah, that's his baby mom, man. So when you see her around, she was around Tupac and shit?
Yes, for sure.
You did backup. You saw him back up for Casey and JoJo, right?
Okay, you guys can watch the rest of this. This is where he's going to be talking about where he did backup singing for Casey and JoJo. He even went on tour with them. Casey rather, that's who dated Mary J. Blige. Upon Casey finding out that Danny Boy had an sexual relationship with Mary J. Blige, he felt a way about that and decided to take Danny Boy off of some of the shows when they were on tour to mess up his money to punish him for his relationship with Mary J. Blige, because at the time KC was still trying to get Mary J. Blige back. They were going through like a little back and forth or whatever. But when he found out, because someone told him that Danny Boy had an sexual relationship with Mary J. Blige, and then for him to be on the tour with them, he decided to take money out of Danny Boy's mouth. But then Danny Boy said later on, Casey and JoJo called him back and was like, hey, come and go back on tour with us. But he was like, they made a lot of money with me being on tour. Y'all know Danny Boy can sing his ass off. Okay. The I Ain't Mad At You song that he did with Tupac. Come on. All right. So he was also signed under Suge Knight and their label as well. But Danny Boy was saying that KC and JoJo called him to come back on the tour. He was like, fuck out of here. Like, I ain't coming back on there. Y'all niggas feel like y'all can punk me and take food out of my mouth. And you mad over this Mary J. Blige situation. Like, he was just running through Mary. He wasn't in love with Mary. Mary would fly out to LA to see him in hotels, and they would sleep together, and then she would fly home. So he was like, hey, we're just sleeping together. Casey and Mary were in a relationship, but he was like, I didn't want her. We just slept together. So now you're gonna punish me and take my money over Mary? Anyway, so y'all can finish watching that, child. It was very interesting, though. All right, that was some tea for you guys. Let's continue on. One more person is saying Dr. Boyce Watkins says that 50 Cent attempt to take down Diddy is fueled by a personal vendetta, not justice. I enjoyed the documentary, and I think that 50 Cent did an awesome job. I don't see it as a takedown. I see it as awareness. It's a lot of shit that Diddy's been able to hide behind while he became this mogul, and everybody kind of worshiped him and saw him as this guy that was up here. But we've been hearing rumors all this time about, you know, Diddy being linked to people being unalived and not paying people. So for people to actually see a documentary and to see it like right before your very eyes, shout out to 50 Cent again for that. So let's get into this topic here.
That's the Diddy documentary. Well done. It wasn't a surprise for a lot of us who followed Diddy over the last 30 years. Now, one thing that I had a debate with my wife about was 50 Cent's role in the documentary. She seemed to feel that 50 Cent had done something really amazing for the victims, and it really stood up for victims' rights and everything else. And I said, now 50 Cent did a great documentary, but I don't think he did this just for the victims. I don't think this was really a matter of a good man trying to go get justice against a bad man. 50 Cent and Diddy have had a beef for a very long time. Diddy's responsible for a lot of what's happening to him. I think that his goal is to take down Diddy, because that's what 50 Cent does to his rivals. I said, remember what he did with Ja Rule. Ja Rule puts up a post, and Ja Rule points out times when 50 Cent himself has been accused of hitting women, all kinds of stuff. Hip hop has produced toxic culture for a very long time. It has created certain groups of men that have been told, perhaps because they have money and fame and damn near get worshipped by the Black community, that they are almost like gods. You know, that's why Kanye calls himself Jesus, and Jay-Z called himself Jehovah, and you have men that feel that they're above the law. And that's why there's a long string of all different kinds of problematic behavior, from Snoop Dogg to Jay-Z to everything. It's misrepresented the Black male all around the world. And so I'm not here to say that 50 Cent's a bad guy for making this documentary. I imagine it probably did some good, but they're all in the same culture. And I remember I said to my wife, I said, well, do you remember when 50 Cent made the song? You know, I know what you heard about me, but I'm a blah, 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 P-I-M-P. I said, you know, a pimp is a sex. And she said, yeah, but he was just probably just using the word pimp just to use it. I said, yeah, maybe he was. But the thing is that you're still glorifying. This is how crazy the culture got. Snoop Dogg used to go to award shows with women on a leash. You know, he had Bishop Magic Don Juan a notice that would travel with him to award shows. So again, you know, culture was very big in all of hip hop. 50 Cent wasn't immune. You know, a lot of these guys are Jay-Z all the way across the board. So ultimately, I think that we have to think about this in terms of Diddy not just being a terrible guy. He is a terrible guy, but he's not some sort of an anomaly. He is the most terrible guy amongst a culture that has produced a lot of terrible guys. Watch the Diddy documentary.
So what Dr. Boyce Watkins is trying to say is that 50 Cent's intentions on making this documentary was not to shed light on Diddy's bullshit and what he was doing to protect the victims, or bring light to the victims that were victimized through Diddy's multiple crimes. He's saying that he did it more so for personal reasons and his own vendettas against Diddy is what he's trying to say. I mean, yeah, I feel like his personal vendettas had a lot to do with it, but do I feel like a lot of it was brought to light in the documentary, like the people who were stampeded at Diddy's event and show how Diddy didn't give no fucks about these people dying. Like, he's walking past people laying on the ground, literally on the street, and did not care. He didn't stop to check on nobody. He was just like, I don't give a fuck. And then when he's confronted about it, it enraged him. Instead of him going back and doing a formal apology to make it seem like, hey, I didn't mean for this to happen. Like, thank you guys for coming to the event, but this was like out of my control. He didn't have that attitude about it. So that being shown in the documentary, that was a good thing. To show Kirk Burrows talking about how Diddy came in with a baseball bat and ordered him to sign over his 25% rights to him for whatever reason, and lying to him and telling him, I will give you your rights back. I'm just having some financial difficulty at the time, and never did that, and then wound up firing him from the company afterwards. Several people who in the industry were saying that they were essayed by Diddy. Those things definitely needed to be talked about, because I feel like a lot of people were upset because Diddy got off on the crimes that he should have been found guilty of, like RICO. I feel like he definitely should have been found guilty of that. But y'all know how things are whenever you do a documentary on people, and I keep saying R. Kelly, R. Kelly, R. Kelly. The surviving R. Kelly is one of the reasons why R. Kelly's ass is in prison to this day, because it brought light to a lot of the shit that was going on behind the scenes. A lot of you guys only saw, oh my God, R. Kelly, he's so fine, he can sing so good. Oh my God, the king of R&B. Yes, he does have those titles, but let's look at the person, okay? Like they said, it's R. Kelly, then there's Robert. Okay, there's Diddy, and then there's Sean Combs. So you got to look at shit for the way that it is and understand that stop glorifying these people that you see on TV, these record executives, these label mates, stop glorifying them like they just are not monsters out here. My mind keeps going back to where Diddy pulverized, we can use that word, Cassie. Now, do I feel like Cassie did some fucked up stuff? Yeah, I got a video. I can't even play it on here where she was threatening to unalive somebody. I was like, this bitch is crazy. But yeah, do I feel like Cassie was involved in some shit that she probably shouldn't have been at the hands of Diddy? Absolutely. But ultimately, I do feel like she was groomed by him. But as an adult, she does know right from wrong. But at the end of the day, it ultimately came from Diddy. He ran a enterprise that was definitely illegal. There were some girls that were trafficked, and I think a lot of people know that. I've showed you several videos over here on my channel where there were dungeons and shit like that around his home, where people were saying that they saw several people like trafficked coming in and out of his home. So there was some things that was going on there. So for Diddy to act like none of these things ever existed, that's bad for him, because a person who knows his life and know a lot about his business, like 50 Cent, yeah, you already know it's kind of bad to be an arch enemy to 50 Cent, because he's gonna put your shit out there now. Not to say that 50 don't have his own bones or skeletons in his closet. Yeah, he does. And if anybody feels that type of way about it, then you go do a documentary on 50. All right, that's just how the shit works. But for now, the heat is on your ass, Diddy, and I love every minute of it. Okay, I do. Moving right along. Okay, so if anybody's upset, maybe you should have done the shit that you've done. All right, 50 is the worst person to do some shit around, because it's like he just stores it in his mental Rolodex, and then voila, then we see a whole documentary about your ass. Moving along, as you guys know, Cardi B was recently in court where y'all remember she said she was, during the time she was pregnant, she went to the doctor's office. The security guard was fanning out over her, following her while she was going to a doctor's appointment, and she asked this person not to follow her, not to take pictures of her. The security guard got in her face, and the altercation became almost physical. Well, the security guard wound up getting fired. They wound up going to court. The security guard filed a lawsuit against Cardi B and for all these millions of dollars. Fast forward, she winds up losing this case against Cardi. So then she went back and she tried to ask for a retrial. Well, catching you guys up, because we have to spin the block, because we did talk about it. Shout out to the source. Cardi B's accuser is denied a request for a new trial. I'm happy about that, because it's given that this is money related for her. She's trying to use the fact that after the trial, Cardi was going to her car, and a reporter then came up and asked her about something regarding the trial. Cardi threw an ink pen at that person. So this security guard then came to spin the block and say, hey, you guys can see right here in the video that she's violent, that she does hit people, that she does. So then she's trying to ask for a new trial. But the courts were like, fuck out of here. We ain't got time for that. We've already been found guilty. Found not guilty. Goodbye. All right. So it goes on to say a Los Angeles judge has denied the request for a new trial for Amani Ellis, the former security guard who accused Cardi B of assault in the 2018 incident. Y'all remember we talked about it. We showed the video as well of Cardi in court with her many different wigs, okay? So Ellis sought to reopen the case after a jury found Cardi B not liable in September of 2025, arguing that the rapper's alleged pin throwing outside of the courthouse showed relevant behavior. Now said that the judge rejected the claim, stating that the incident had no impact on the jury's original verdict and did not meet the standard for a retrial. Thank God. So it says, with the ruling, Cardi B's legal win stands, officially closing the long-running civil case and reaffirming the judge's finding that the evidence did not support Ellis's allegation. So long story short, you're not getting any money, sis. Okay, go get a job and do what you need to do and stop following people and harass. She was harassing her. Cardi asked her, stop following me. Don't take pictures of me. She was just trying to go to her doctor's appointment, and she noticed Cardi. She had on like a hoodie or whatever. She was trying to be incognito, but she noticed Cardi and she followed her several floors up, because it was one of those type of buildings where you have to go up several floors. Cardi, I think, said she had to go up to, I think, the 7th floor. This security guard followed her from bottom level up to Cardi's doctor's appointment and continue talking to Cardi. She asked her, don't talk to me. So that's harassment. After a person tell you to don't continue to, interact with me, and you continue to do so, you following behind her, then you whip out your phone and start taking pictures. At the time Cardi was pregnant, she felt uncomfortable, according to her, and this person continued. So then you want to file a lawsuit after you were the initiator of the bullshit. So it was all money driven. Shout out to Cardi for another win in that situation. Moving on. All right. Let's get into some little scrappy news. Let me go ahead and do my because I'm supposed to do my jam session two topics back, but let's go ahead and get into it now because I do need a little break. Yeah, I'm talking. All right, so let's please go ahead and tap on that like button for me, please. All right, let's go ahead and get into my. Please go out, tap the like, and come right back. Y'all see y'all over there twerking and whatnot on a good Monday. Yes, honey, get your twerk on over there to the like button and tap for me if you can. All right. Thank y'all. Let's get back to our show. Let's get back to the show. All right, so let's get into this little scrappy news. Okay. Dear Josie B, shout out to you. Let's get into Scrappy, child, talking about all his legion of hoes that he deal with. And how he Scrappy speaks on his former toxic relationship with Diamond, okay? And he also explains how he joined Love and Hip Hop Atlanta with his baby mama Erica Dixon. He says, honey, anything to get off child support. So what is that supposed to mean, Scrappy? Okay. You don't want to pay no child support for your kids? See Mama D, how you raised him? Let's get into it.
You know, women talk crazy to niggas and shit like that. But I've been choking the shit out you, girl. Like how I be doing.
Not in front of her. Me and you by ourselves, we can do this.
I done choked the shit out of her one day, you know what I'm saying? I said, if I do it on TV, they will hate me. You know what I'm saying? Like, but they would love you. You slap the shit out of me, how you be doing, you know what I'm saying? But that's what I said, hell yeah, anything to get off child support. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me get off this shit. And I said, the reason I bring her on because if I know how I am with money, I ain't shit with money. Like I spend money like it's water, you know what I'm saying? And I don't give a fuck about money for real. That's not my thing, you know what I'm saying? That's why. And she was like, I was like, I know she know how to handle money, and she'll take care of my kid no matter what, you know what I'm saying? So I said, that's why I want on there. Okay, shit, we'll have a meeting with her. She said, but what about your mother? Because when that Diamond and Soulja Boy thing going on, I didn't react. I didn't react because I'm a man. I didn't react in public. Mama showed here reacted in public. By the time I fucking landed,
I already know.
Nigga, Twitter was just, and I was like, what the fuck happened? And I seen a text from Diamond like, nigga, fuck you and your mama, nigga, like y'all. I'm like, what happened? Cause I thought we were good. I thought I had my baby back. What the fuck going on? And I heard the shit. It was all over everywhere, and I heard it. My mama went crazy. And you know, women talk crazy to niggas and shit like that. But I've been to choke the shit out you, cuz.
So Scrappy, I guess, was saying he had to contain himself being on Love and Hip Hop. He didn't want to be the way he is off camera, on camera, because he didn't want that, I guess, image of him putting hands on women. I didn't know he put hands on women like that to be seen on camera. But he said that the only reason that he joined Love and Hip Hop Atlanta with his baby mama Erica was to avoid child support. So maybe there's some type of arrangement that the two of them had. But he says his child only did the child anything to get off of child support. Now, we do know that he does have a problem with taking care of his kids on the financial side. Now, he will go and babysit them and keep them and take them somewhere. But as far as paying the baby mama child support, because we heard the same thing from Bambi, so everybody can't be lying about you, Scrappy, okay? Of course, on the show, you guys know also it was said that, what's the other child named Erica? Is her name Erica? I can't remember her name. Anyway, she was... what was the girl name that was on Flavor of Love? Is it not Bucky? Is it Bucky? I want to say Bucky. Was saying that during the time that she allowed Scrappy didn't have nowhere to stay during the filming, and she went and rented him an apartment or something like that so he would have a place to film, and she put it in her name. But he was supposed to pay the rent, and he wasn't even doing that. So Scrappy is just he's a bum ass individual. Okay, the nigga still running around here singing the same song that he was singing back in early 2000s on the stage, looking crazy as hell. Nobody's really checking for him like that. And these women, I don't know what it is that they see in him. Maybe they see some swag that we don't see. But Mama D, you raised a crappy ass son. Now, he makes some beautiful babies. He has several kids by several different women. But he and Diamond, they went back and forth for quite some time. But he's been known to not financially handle his part. And Erica Dixon dealt with the bullshit for quite some time, but I didn't know that there was some type of an arrangement that for him to come on to the show that he would not or get off child support. You would take him off child support in order to be on the show or whatever, maybe to be her storyline. I don't know. But to hear that Scrappy was out here putting hands on women and choking women, like, that's nothing to be bragging about, especially in the interview, sir. Okay, maybe that was something you saw your mama do, because y'all know back in the day they said Mama D was a whole pimp out here in these streets, and she also used to bring women in Scrappy's room to have them do sexual things on his bed, and at the end of the night she would change his bedding and put him in that same bed that people was in there doing nasty, egregious things in his room. So gross. He grew up very, very he grew up in a toxic situation. Speaking of toxic situations, let's get into this next topic. Okay. But this person right here, I'm so sick of her. Like, I am so tired of her. Akbar V, you guys know who she is. She is also cousins to Candy Burrs, okay? But she apologizes to her husband for blasting their marriage online. Now, y'all know a few months ago, we talked about her coming on where she had a whole black eye. Her face was messed up. She talked about how her husband jumped on her and beat her up because she questioned him about another woman that he was seeing. So now she's apologizing to him for him abusing her. How does that work? We should never, ever get to that place where we need a man that bad to where you apologize to somebody who put their hands on you as an effort to try to save a situation that should that your ass shouldn't be in, because the next time it could be worse, right? So she admits that she did not give 100% and says that they both put hands on each other, but she's working to be a better wife. Well, how about he work to be a better husband? It sounds like you're making excuses for him and his abusive ways is what it sounds like. Let me put my trigger warning banner up because, yeah. I can't stand women like this. Like, girl. I'm sorry. They just had a baby together. She married him, but she said the whole time he's been out seeing other women, and she would call him and he wouldn't answer the phone, and she would know that he would be with other women. But let's get into what she had to say. Let me read this first, then we're going to play the video. So shout out to It's On Site. Akbar V publicly apologized to her husband for bringing their marriage issues to the internet, admitting that she did not give the relationship 100% when he asked her to stop the divorce the first time. So red flag, red flag. Why the divorce? Almost a divorce the first time. What was going on then that made you want to go and file for divorce the first time? Damn. So it said that she also revealed that both she and her husband have put hands on each other in the past, and that she's now trying to show up differently, grow, and be a better wife moving forward. So accountability only on you and not him. Gotcha. So this message comes after the backlash that she received for questioning why Cassie didn't just leave, while admitting that she herself stayed, returned, and fought through things behind closed doors. She really went in on Cassie, because I remember that. When they showed the video where Diddy and Cassie were in the hotel and Diddy came around and was beating up Cassie. I remember that whole situation. She had a lot to say about that. Well, why didn't she just leave? Why did she stay? Well, you know, maybe she liked it. She was on that. But why didn't you leave? The same could be said about you. The same could be said about you. Why didn't you leave? Why are you talking about you are going to file for divorce? Why did you put out there that he hit you in the face? Why did you put out there that he choked you before? Like all the things that you said, that this crazy, deranged individual that you married, barely knowing, because you had a baby by him, who has publicly and privately disrespected you, but you have so much heat and or advice for other women that you don't take yourself. Like he knocking your head between the washer and dryer, and your ass still over there. So how you gonna tell another woman they need to leave when your ass is still over there laying between the washer and dryer with Tide all over your damn face? But anyway, so it raises a real question. Okay, is it ever fair to question someone else's choices in abuse or trauma when we don't always follow the advice we give? Let's get into what she had to say, because child. Oh, you gotta hear it, right?
You motherfuckers be feeling like a motherfucker gotta live up to y'all standards. I don't. I'm still learning this thing that we call life. I don't know all the things. You know, I don't even know how to be a wife. I'm learning that every day. I'm trying to be a better wife. I'm trying to be a better mama, or trying to be a better friend. Not that I owe y'all this, but I'm a public figure. I'm Akbar V. You know me. I don't know y'all, but let's get into it, right? I was definitely wrong for coming and putting the internet in my business. I take full accountability, right? Especially when they're dealing with marriage. Because in the Bible, it say marriage is honorable and the bed is undefiled. That means no matter what, do not get on here and bash my husband. Do not do things to my husband that I know I shouldn't do, that I know that God would not be pleased with.
There's a difference between telling your business and a cry for help. I feel like that's what that was in terms of why you ran to the internet. You felt like you had no one else maybe that you could trust, even though you told total strangers. Maybe you wanted to read the comments of somebody giving you some great advice on this sorry ass individual who was putting hands on you. But let's continue. We always like to throw God in it. God like, how I get in it?
That's the second. Third, I didn't give my marriage a whole 100%. And this time around, I said, God, you know what? When my husband told me he wanted to call out the divorce, I said, okay, fine. I'm going to give my marriage a whole 100%. That means I'm not going to be out here doing the things that I used to do in my marriage, right? You know, my husband, not really, he's a shy person. He don't really like the camera. A lot of y'all be like, he don't want to be there. One thing about me, I can't make no man be with me. I would never try to make a man be with me. You either with me or you not. I don't know what y'all be thinking or what y'all think y'all know about me, but I'm a bitch that always got niggas. Even when I was a...
And everyone that you've ever had have left you and been abusive. From what I've seen, your track record is the same. You like a certain type. You like fine niggas that put their hands on you. That's what you like, dude. That's what you got right now. Like, girl.
Big girl. I had real boss ass niggas too that had money. Ask Atlanta about me. I had the big fish in Atlanta. Okay. Second, that's neither here nor there. That's my past. A lot of things that I got on this internet and did, I look at it now like I should never did that. And I was impulsive, hormones everywhere. I had just had a baby, right? Mm-hmm. But now I'm learning how to be a wife. I'm even learning how to talk better to my husband, not to belittle him, not to say certain things that I know, because this is what God told me I had to do. Not that I owe y'all this, but once again, how is you motherfucker?
God is not the God of confusion. Let's start there, okay? God is not the author of confusion. That would be Satan. Satan is who is in your husband. All right. So you gotta speak. I don't know. You're training yourself to speak a little bit more soft and to be more passive as you approach him when he do some fuck shit to you. Is that what we're saying now? And then you're throwing God in there to make it seem like you're trying to be this godly wife. Absolutely not. God would not allow you and or ask you to stay in a situation where a man is putting hands on you, where you are on live with a black eye and a busted lip, trying to tell women what they should do when you ain't do this. Like, did you dodge anything? Damn, like they said, did you pinch the bitch? Damn. Did you even swing back? Damn. And I do not promote violence in any way, shape, or form. Let me just say that. And I say it all the time on my channel. Y'all know women. I advocate for women all the time. Bitch, don't stay with no man to put their hands on you, because listen, ain't nobody got time to walk around with no black eye and put no damn Maybelline over no black eyes. Anybody got time for no busted lips because the nigga felt like he want to backhand you today? Like, hell no. All right. Love yourself. Self-love is the best love. We preach that all the time over here. Akbar V, you have some serious issues, baby. All right. For you to go out and marry this guy, have another child when you ain't take care of the 4, 5 children that you had before that. Your kids are spread abroad with family members and other people. And at one point in time, we're in the system because your whole ass was chasing fame versus taking care of your kids. So you can't tell nobody shit about how to take care of their man, about how to be a wife. None of that. You've been none of that. You've not even been a mother to children who did not ask to be here. But then you want to always, oh, Candy versus my cousin. Well, okay. Did you take some advice from her? Well, shit, she don't be home either. But anyway, I despise people who feel like they got all the answers. No, ma'am. I will not take advice from you, of all people. You didn't take care of your damn kids. And you done had another one. So it's supposed to make you a great mother now because you married when you had this child versus the other 5. They probably call you Akbar versus mama. That means they don't respect you, right? Let's continue though.
Because they don't even know a bitch, just know what's on the internet, can have a say-so about somebody's life when y'all life is not even fully together.
We don't need to know your life because you tell us your life. We didn't ask you to go live the 4 or 5 times that you did and tell us what was going on in your house, girl. We don't live with you. We don't want to live with you. You brought us into your business. Now you fussing us out for having an opinion? Girl.
He who has not seen, you cast the first stone. God knew that we was imperfect people.
He who gets their ass slapped should not stay with a motherfucker that do it.
Never gonna be perfect. But long as we try, he'll meet us where we at. And this a person, I am a person that try. I try to do right. I'm trying to be a wife. I'm trying. And long as I know that I'm trying, if this marriage failed tomorrow, I can honestly walk away and say, I tried. I gave it 100.
It should have failed the first time that you went down there to file because the red flags were there, but you ignored them because you didn't want to be alone. You didn't want to be a single mother. So you chose to stay with a toxic, abusive ass individual so that you can say that you're a wife and that your child is raised in a 2-parent household. Not like the one Ariane was raised in where her father wasn't there. Okay. It was a picture over there on the table, but she thought he was there. So she said she was raised in a 2-parent household. Not like that. You wanted your husband to want to be knocking you between the washer and dryer. Okay. And slamming your foot in the refrigerator. That one. Yeah. And throwing pepper in your eye so you can't see him when he come back with that next left, right. That one. The first time that you got the inkling, as the old people say, they'll take your ass down to the courthouse and file for divorce. Mind you, your child is in the same house that's watching his mother walk around with a black eye and getting screamed on and the rumblings by the washer and dryer because you laying there. That one. Let's continue.
But saying, God, I know you pleased with me. A lot of things I posted on this internet about my husband, I was wrong. Don't ever think that I'm a victim because one thing about it, y'all can never think I'm gonna let a nigga just whoop on my ass. And I don't know who need to hear this. Yes.
So did your baby punch you in the face to give you a black eye and a busted lip when you were on live? Crying and saying that you were scared of the person that you chose to marry. I'm confused.
I do. Let me tell y'all something. The comments that get me. You motherfuckers.
So the comments, no one should comment. So usually when a person do a live and they don't want people to comment on their bullish, usually they cut the comments off, okay? So once again, we are at fault because we have an opinion on your life when you went live and added us in your business. I have a problem with people like that. If you don't want people to know your business, stay the fuck off the line. Stop going live and telling your business. You were telling some real deep personal stuff. And people are like, oh, girl, really? Oh, my God. This was me, girl, in the comments. Girl, leave this motherfucker. Go to the courthouse, file a restraining order. Okay? Period. That's what I was saying, girl. I was in the comments trying to give you some real sound advice. But now I'm getting fussed at this morning. What is today? Monday morning, 12/8/2025. I'm getting fussed at because I have an opinion of trying to give you some sound advice so that you ain't got to keep laying between the washer and dryer. Maybe you love it down there. Maybe it's nice and warm and cozy in between the washer and dryer. Maybe you just love it there. I don't know. But we're not hearing anything you have to say, Akbar. You are very toxic, and so is the situation that you're in, sis. I really hope that this man don't take your life. And I really mean that with my whole heart. I really hope he don't take your life, and I hope that your child don't get taken away from you for having that child in a toxic situation as well. Because this man, and mind you, I hope you're getting checked out at the clinic down there as frequently as you can, because he's already made it known that he's seeing multiple women and unprotected as well. So congratulations to you, girl, for getting all the bumps that you can get and moving right along, because I don't care no more. All right. I don't care no more. I promise you. Okay. And I mean that with my whole chest. I don't care. Stay there, girl. I really hope you stay there, and I hope it works out for you. All right. Let's continue. And usually I care, honey, when it comes down to some shit like that. I don't even care no more, honey. Stay there and leave me out of it. Take me out of the group chat, because I do not care. All right, moving along. Now, we've been talking about Airbnbs. We've been talking about people moving up in folk house and not wanting to move out, squatters, okay? Imagine renting your Airbnb out to a guest, and they move in. They move in for a week stay and then turn into squatters and never leave. They refuse to leave. That's what happened in this situation. Let's go ahead and get into it, child. For those of you that have properties or Airbnbs that you rent out to people, child, this could happen to you. All right, this happened to a lady. So a homeowner says what was supposed to be a single Airbnb booking turned into a nightmare. Now, according to her, the guest checked in for a short stay, then refused to leave after checkout, and ended up staying for 10 months free. Can y'all imagine that? So for 10 months, they're not able to rent to anyone else and earn a coin because your ass decides you ain't gonna move out and be a squatter. She claims that the guest locked her out of her own home, claimed tenants' rights, and ignored every request to leave. Now, the homeowner says that she's now stuck paying the mortgage, utilities, and attorney fees while fighting a long legal battle just to get her property back. All right, child, let's get into it, because this is a mess.
The responsibilities are on me, and I can't get into my property. There's a leak in the property. The water bill is escalating. I can't get in there to see what's going on.
A DC homeowner claiming an Airbnb guest has overstayed their welcome and will not leave. In this story, you'll only see on 7 News. We're digging into DC law, finding out there's not much that homeowner can do. Our Washington, D.C. reporter Felicia Ashley spoke with the homeowner and tried to speak with the alleged squatter.
The alleged squatter originally got into the home through Airbnb, claiming that her apartment caught fire and it needed time to get repairs. Now, that was back in February. Roshane Douglas says she didn't know she was opening her life up to a nightmare when she accepted Shadija Romero's Airbnb reservation almost 10 months ago. That reservation ended March 29th after 32 days, and Romero hasn't paid another dime. But living in the home for over a month apparently lets her claim some form of tenant rights, and she refuses to let Roshane enter the property.
I never gave her any tenancy. I never gave her a lease.
Roshane tried everything, gave her a 30-day notice to vacate, called police, went to court, and even offered Romero $2,500 to sign a paper admitting she's not a tenant and to get out. Romero signed the document, but didn't budge.
November the 15th came and she told me, this no longer works for me. Do what you have to do. I'm not leaving. I went to the police with my order, and they said there's nothing that they can do, that I need to go to court, which I've done, and I do not have a court date until December the 11th.
Roshane put this sign up on her home so police and the neighbors would know Romero was not authorized to be there. A sign Romero covered with a sheet.
I need police assistance.
I was there when police helped Roshane cut it down, while Romero hid inside.
It's shocking to me that you would abuse a system like that.
While all this is going on, Romero's social media shows her living her best life on trips and promoting her nonprofit. And Roshane is left paying thousands in attorney fees, the mortgage, and utilities for a home she can't even enter. I tried to get some answers from Romero, who was clearly inside the home, but she never came to the door. When a person walked out to her car, they didn't want to talk to us either. Roshane is waiting now for her court date next week, where
all of the responsibilities are on me.
And I bet you she ain't even gonna show up in court. And that's gonna be another situation, which didn't have to be a good thing for the homeowner, because it'll be like by default, she'll win by default of the person not showing up. And then they can have the sheriffs come there and remove her, and they can change the locks officially and get this person out of her property. And I would sue her for every single month that she stayed there that effed up my money to where I could not rent the property out, as well as damages on the property as well. That's what I would do. But certain states now, we talked about this the other day about squatters. Squatters think that they, honey, can move in your place and not move. But Georgia law now has just created what is it, Squatters Act or something like that, where the property owner can go in and they don't have to go through the whole court situation and all of that. They can get the person out like right away. So that's something that needs to be done like in every single state, because squatters are starting to be at an all-time high now. People are moving in your shit and not wanting to move out. They can come and go. They change the locks on your place and they feel like they can tell you what they're going to do on your property. Like, hell no. So definitely, if anyone out there, if you own properties and you're dealing with this, check to make sure your state has that particular law now that do not allow squatters to stay in your place. Let me look it up because I want to make sure, because I just talked about it the other day. Okay, yeah. So it's called the Georgia's New Squatter Reform Act. Okay, let me put it up so you guys can see it. I always like to share so y'all can see what we're talking about. All right, let me get it up here. All right. Reform Act. Boom. There you go. All right. So let's just take a look at that, and then we're gonna move on. Okay. So yeah, if y'all own, especially if you're in the Georgia area, if you live in Georgia, check to see if your state may have a similar law to this, so that you guys can do what you need to do to get said person off of your property. Okay. All right. So the Georgia Squatters Reform Act, okay, was signed into law on April 24th of 2024. Now, this act establishes the offense of unlawful squatting, which is defined as entering and residing on someone else's property without consent. It amends Georgia's criminal trespass code, allowing law enforcement to issue citations to suspected squatters. Additionally, the act aims to provide property owners with more rights to evict individuals who have illegally taken possession of their homes. Okay, so that's just in a nutshell what that means. So it's called the Georgia Squatter Reform Act. So make sure or check to see if your state has a Squatter Reform Act as well. So if you own a property and somebody's in your property and they won't get out, so you don't have to spend, because it is very expensive to go through the courts. And with this Reform Act, you don't have to go through paying all of these court fees and stuff like that. You can just go get law enforcement to come and assist you on getting said person out, versus going through the courts and paying court fees, court costs, all these other different things. It's very expensive. All right. But yeah, that's what you can do. All right. Moving right along. There's some info for you. All right, so Kanika Jenkins, let's get into her mom, because she's out here doing the absolute most. I saw a video, what was it, yesterday, day before yesterday, where she was walking up the street like butt booty naked girl in her birthday suit. She's having some type of mental something going on. Y'all know she's upset. She talked about how law enforcement and detectives made her sign some type of agreement where she would not speak Kanika Jenkins' name, and she would not try to spend a block on them and file anything else in this case with Kanika Jenkins. She did get, I think, $10 million in that case. And she's still speaking out. All she asked for was her daughter's personal properties after they took them off of her. Y'all know Kanika Jenkins was unalived in a hotel in some freezer where they found her, and it was unexplained. But first you saw her on the camera, then you didn't see her. So it was kind of unexplained as to how she got there and who unalived her. There was a case, there was a trial rather. In that trial, the mother was then awarded a very substantial amount of money. But there's something that she signed with detectives that has a lot of people questioning, like, was this some type of scam? Maybe, I don't know. It's weird, but she is spazzing out on social media. Kanika Jenkins' mother, Teresa Martin, goes live to get some things off of her chest. They said that she is lost at the she's very lost in this situation. She's still fighting to get what she feels she's due as related to her daughter. Let's get into it. Let's go. Shout out to Nicole Everything. Oh, sorry.
When I first told the judge that I did not agree with it, and I told my lawyer, Jim, remember your bitch? I told you, and I got your black all receipts, y'all. I used Chat GPT. See, when I didn't really know how to write, they call me illiterate dumb. I didn't know. I not that I'm dumb, as y'all can see, I stopped the war. I'm a motherfucking snap a bitch finger. I used to tell Candy, then I tell a bitch. I could know what a bitch story I was God's daughter. Not only that, he had a big old heart for me. His favorite. When he was living, I was his favorite too. He used to take my ass whoop his this. So what the fuck? I dare any one of you, bitch. I double face, bitch. I'm everything that you want. Fuck off, bitch. Come on. I double dare. I first told the
she's crashing out. Something mentally is going on with her. I told you guys, yes, somebody said she's crazy. Absolutely. She's beyond crazy. She's to the point now where I feel like that white jacket with the buckles in the back, where they put your hands behind your back in said jacket and they put you in this little room where it's padded. She's ready for that right now. There's a video circulating on social media with her walking around the streets with no clothes on, cussing people out, spazzing out, talking about her daughter, just saying some very crazy off the wall stuff. She seemed very out of it mentally. So something has snapped in her mind. Something has snapped with her. She keeps popping up on social media with these videos and she seems very mentally unstable. I really hope that someone in her family or close to her can get to her and get her the necessary help that she needs, because she's really spiraling out. She's spazzing out. She is like on demon time. She's crazy. Like anytime you're on live, spitting and foaming at the mouth like a damn rabid dog, and spitting in the camera and you know, biatch this and biatch that. Like that's a lot. Okay, that's a lot. I get it. You want your daughter's belongings. There's a different way to go about it. Okay, doing all of this now, they're probably not going to cooperate with you because you're coming off as being this very aggressive, especially in tone and making threats. Like that's gonna wind up landing your ass in jail. I really hope that somebody close to her can get to her and get her some help, because this is not the way, baby. This is not the way. This is not the way. Do y'all see this? Right. Unfortunately, I couldn't show the video where she was walking around nude, but you guys can go YouTube it, Google it. It's out there. Kanika Jenkins' mom walking around nude. You can see that if you want to, where she's spazzing out there. But something has happened, because she didn't used to act like this when this whole trial and stuff was going on. Like I said, something might have snapped in her mind with her losing her daughter. That I can understand, but this behavior right here is giving something else. I've not seen this side, and I've seen several videos of her. This is something else going on right here, for real. I'm not even gonna play it again because it's so damn triggering. But y'all put in there what y'all think. Prayers up for her, but she's definitely dealing with some mental issues, as you guys can see. All right, the spitting was a lot. Okay, the spitting and foaming was a bit much. Let's get into reality TV. Child, that about sent me. Child, okay. Let's get into reality TV, baby, because I got to hurry up and get out of here. Yes, Lord. Bravo, Shade Room. Thank you. Monique Samuel says that there was no relationship with Candace Dillard. Okay, Candace from Real Housewives of Potomac. Y'all know the two of them got into a physical altercation on the show where Monique beat the brakes off her. It said that it's okay not to rekindle something that was never meant to be. I don't think that she wishes to be friends or any type of things with Candace, because their relationship turned physical. I respect that. You can be cordial with a person and not be friends. You can speak to a person or not speak to a person, or exist in the same areas and or breathe the same air as a person and not even have a relationship of any sort with that person. Go get your money, honey. If Candace comes back to the show, I hope that she and Monique can coexist in the same place and that it not be another physical altercation, even though it was very enjoyable to watch. Let's go ahead and get into what she had to say.
Like, we've seen that you've done so much work on yourself. How do you feel about your relationship with Candace, and do you see there ever being a reconciliation?
There was no relationship, and sometimes moving on doesn't mean that you have to reconcile. Sometimes you just see people for who they are, and you know your place, and you set your boundaries, and it's okay not to rekindle something that isn't meant to be rekindled.
All right. Like, we've seen that you've done so much work on yourself. How do you feel about your relationship with Candace, and do you see there ever being a reconciliation?
There was no relationship, and sometimes moving on doesn't mean that you have to reconcile. Sometimes you just see people for who they are, and you know your place, and you set your boundaries, and it's okay not to rekindle something that isn't.
I agree with her totally. I agree. I feel like when a person shows you who they really are, you got to kind of see it for what it is. All right. I don't think that she and Candace will ever be in a space to where they're going, oh, we're good. We're friends. Now, she did apologize and make amends with Giselle, even though she read her ass down, child. She read her down. I don't think Giselle have come from under that read as of yet. But they've been able to squash their beef and coexist and still film and talk and have like great conversation on the show, even after the reunion where she pulled that damn binder out on her ass. But I don't think that she and Candace will ever be in that space again. Y'all know Candace tried to file all types of legal stuff on Monique after that fight, after Candace actually started the shit. Okay, then she played victim and ran down there trying to file all types of assault charges and stuff on Monique after she got beat up on camera. Child, it was a mess. But so I respect Monique for realizing that, hey, you ain't got to be fake for the cameras, honey. We already know what it is between you and Candace. Like, say hi and bye, or don't say nothing at all. Okay, it's a lot of people that I'm on hi and bye with, honey, and then I don't even speak it off to some of them. All right, just keep it moving. I ain't got to be fake. It's just understood. We're just not there. Let's get into this fake ass mess with Dr. Heavenly. It's the voice for me. It's her voice. It's the lying. It's the way her husband is going along with this bullshit on my screen. You guys already know, if you guys follow me, that Dr. Heavenly's son was arrested at Georgia State University for being aggressive and fighting on campus. When the police officer came to try to break it up, he hopped into his car. The police officer tried to stop him by standing in front of the car. He peeled out, almost hitting a police officer, which then that was more charges. They found him at his home. There was a warrant and all this other stuff out for her son. So she tried to act like she did not know about this, and that daddy, which is her husband, Dr. Damon, handled it unbeknownst to her. So let's get into this, because Heavenly is a whole liar. Let's get into it. So see, when you're telling the truth, it just flows. When you're telling a lie, you got to take a break and think about that lie so you can make it fit. Several things wrong here. All right. Y'all can tell that Dr. Damon definitely knows that she's lying and that this is all bullshit. He's just going along with it for the cameras. Okay. Heavenly, your voice, it gives that, baby, no ma'am. Okay. She done changed her voice and everything. I was like, who is this? I can watch it again. Like, who is this? I miss Buddy. What is it with these names? But let's continue, child. Heavenly, let me stop your lying ass right now. So this incident happened in 2022, and you're going to tell me you didn't find out until we just did this, 2025? Because that's when you came after my damn video. You and your people tried to get my video taken down because you didn't want the people, the YouTube streets and any other damn streets to know that your son was out here fighting like a little alley cat and try to hit a police officer with his cock. You want your kids to appear as being perfect. Nah. So you mean to tell me since 2022, the way you be on the internet and know everybody else's business heavily, you didn't know your son was out here arrested and had a mug shot? You know all of Toya's business. That's what you said on this last episode. You know shit about Toya that you ain't talked about yet, that you can clear her, but you couldn't clear your son. You ain't know nothing about no mug shot for him, but you know all Toya business and everything about her marriage. Got seen him in months, but he works at your dental practice where he is trying to learn dentistry along with your other son. So you ain't seen him in months, but he works at your dental office. Are we really doing this heavily? So what is he doing for money? What is he doing? He also goes to Georgia State University. You know where he is. So why are we on camera acting like, oh, my son took off because I fussed him out about something that happened in 2022 that I didn't even know about? And now, Daddy, why you didn't tell me that? It's like she's trying to put it all on him. It's like she's still going with this lie that she originally came out with in the beginning about her son. Girl, just listen. Everybody's kids do some shit that's fucked up from time to time. It's called, kids. Kids do shit. Unfortunately, your son went too far. And then she tried to come out and do the whole police brutality and protect our children from police. No, protect the police from your kid. From your son who tried to hit him with a cop. Who had a whole warrant and a mug shot. Where they were trying to stop him from jumping. Now, they say he was acting wild and being very unruly on Georgia State University campus. And where several police officers, I showed y'all the paperwork. I got it. I'm pulling shit up right now. Several police officers tried to calm him down. He was acting very erratic. And when they tried to apprehend him, he jumped up in his car and peeled out on police, almost hitting an officer. So you didn't hear nothing about none of that, because I'm sure that was the talk of the campus. And everybody knows that you guys are public figures. They said the police even came to your house, Heavenly, to get your son. So none of your neighbors said, Heavenly, why were the police at your house today? Like, you didn't see on your doorbell cam that police were at your house? Like, none of your other kids, you have 2 other children besides this child, did not come to you and say, hey, mama, did you hear about Damon Jr. getting arrested? Because I'm sure they knew about it. So if your kids knew about it, nobody said nothing to you. Why are they lying on TV? And the only reason she's talking about it is because Toya brought it up. Toya brought it up on the show, and that's why Heavenly got upset and jumped up to try to fight Toya, because she was hoping that she could go through this entire season and not talk about it. And Bravo said, you're going to talk about it this season. Because Heavenly's been able to skate by and not talk about her issues. She don't want to talk about Dr. Damon and the rumors that surround him cheating on her and running around with other women. But you talking about Toya. Oh, I know some shit about you and Eugene that I ain't put out there yet. Well, you still haven't addressed why we saw Infamil in your cabinet last season, but you claim Dr. Daddy ain't got no baby. And then there were rumors circulating that your own daughter was at one point in time pregnant. You ain't said shit about that. Why your daughter come home from college early and ain't been back? Why did your hair care, your beauty hair care place, your beauty supply store get shut down? Why did you not know about your son? Because there's a lot of stuff that people can ask you about you, Heavenly, but you don't want to talk about your business. What is that? This same person, I don't tell people I'm on that I used to be on food stamps. That's embarrassing. But you want to run for political office and speak for the Black people? Baby, that should be your story. Okay. Yeah, your pain helps other people. Honey, it's called a testimony. You used to be on food stamps, but you're a doctor now. Your income level is far above that. Tell people how you got from there to here. But when you're embarrassed and you have this shield over you to where nobody could get in there and break you down and say, oh, well, you went through this. Heavenly just has this aura about her where she just doesn't want to seem imperfect. On top of being a narc, on top of being a very good liar, on top of so many other things that I can say right now. This whole video I just showed was bullshit. And Dr. Daddy, Dr. Damon, with them shark teeth your ass got, I gotta say it, baby. You are also in on this bullshit as well. I don't believe for 1 second this shit happening on 2022 and Heavenly didn't know nothing about it. As much as she be on the internet, as much as she be on the internet, baby. You a blogger as well. So your business is to be in other people's business. And right up under your nose, your son that you say was staying in your house, you ain't know that he was in some legal trouble with a whole mugshot. That was public information. How the bloggers know and you don't? How the bloggers know? How we get our hands on information and you were totally oblivious to what happened to your son? I don't know, sis. Okay. I don't know. Like, let's move on, child. Y'all sound off. All right, last topic, then we gotta go. So the guys are having a conversation with Curtis, which is Dr. Jackie's husband, about him putting his hands on other women. All right. So Curtis and Eugene get into a disagreement. And then Heavenly and Toya have like a little clash situation. We're gonna show this clip and then we're gonna get out of here. All right. Because I gotta go. All right, I gotta get my work done too. Shit. I gotta go. All right, this is the last topic, and then we're going to get out of here. Shout out to Bravo Shade Room and shout out to OMFG Reality TV. Let's go. Because Curtis want to play victim now. Like, we ain't seen several videos and no pictures of him putting his hands on women inappropriately. Y'all know he pulled Toya down. He put his hands around Toya's waist and pulled her down on his lap. Okay, I'm talking about on his lap. And that was done in front of everyone. But now he wants to sit up here and play victim like he's never been inappropriate with cast members or other women. I mean, hell, you were cheating for 2 years on Dr. Jackie. I mean, that don't get more in his wife. It's called a united front. Now, in front of you guys, I said it before. If anybody is married, you don't fly off on your husband in front of nobody. Even if he is wrong, you wait till you get home and say, baby, that was a little fucked up or whatever. But in the presence of other people, you ride or die for yours. I will never fly off on my husband. Be like, bitch, you were wrong about that. Baby, you were wrong. No, when we get home, we're going to talk about it. You're going to be wrong at home. In public, you're right. You're right in public. Even on the back of my mind, I know it was very fucked up what you did. But in the public, Curtis is trying to manipulate Dr. Eugene into siding with him on Toya being wrong for bringing up him putting his hands on other women on the cast. We just saw a picture where he was standing there taking a group picture with other people, and he had his hands around Heavenly's waist. That's not your wife. Why would you be even touching Heavenly, especially around her waist? Where's Dr. Jackie? I don't ever see him and Dr. Jackie having any type of sexual or intimate interaction between the two of them. I never see that. But for some odd reason, it's so convenient that Curtis will be pulling women down. I ain't seen you pull Jackie down in your lap. I ain't seen you hugged up on Jackie. Hell, the pictures that we saw when you were cheating and you got caught down there at that little island with that woman you were cheating with, you were showing more affection to her than I've ever seen you show Dr. Jackie. Y'all been married for years. So let's get out of here with that, Curtis. Somebody else will be in the spot that I'm in. Curtis, take accountability that you were wrong for what you did. Keep your hands to yourself. You're too touchy-feely when it comes to the women. And they're saying they're uncomfortable. Toya was uncomfortable. She was walking by Curtis to go sit beside her husband, and Curtis reached up and grabbed her by her waist and pulled her on his lap. Who knows? He was probably fully bang. That had to be inappropriate. Well, it was inappropriate. That had to be very uncomfortable. And he was very bold to do that with her husband sitting right there. And for Dr. Eugene not to get up and check him in that moment was very crazy to me. I was like, why are you gonna say nothing? Jackie even sat there like, Jackie didn't say nothing. Jackie was like, I'm like, girl, you just went through your husband, found out your husband was cheating. So this is weird. Let's continue. Ass accountable, and you just sat there in a whole scene with her and let her lie to you and coerce you into lying with her as well. What do y'all think? So the next scene is the women. Quad and Dr. Simone, which we've already seen that scene where they're arguing back and forth. We don't need to see it again. But y'all put in what y'all think about Curtis trying to play victim because they're trying to hold him accountable. And this is one of the reasons why he and Dr. Jackie's relationship and our marriage is the way that it is. And Curtis feels like he can do what the fuck he wants to do because there's no accountability. And anytime somebody come at him and say something to him, he tries to flip it and play victim. Like, how dare you say something to me when fully you were wrong, sir. Keep your hands to yourself, you touchy-feely bastard, you. All right. Let's get, because I had one more topic, you guys. I lied. I said that it was going to be the last topic. Last topic. All right, we got to talk about these two, and we're going to hit it and quit it. Shout out to 370 watching me. Curtis, his ugly ass, thinking that nobody can say nothing to him. Jackie. All right, so these three right here. All right, we know that's Akira, which is the ex-wife of this fool right here. All right, and Brene, this is Devon. Okay, this is Devon. And this is Brene, all right, who took Devon from Akira. So Akira, where my mouse is moving, won $1.7 million for the alienation of affection case. Well, Brene, where my mouse is moving, and Devon, who are now married, because they got married, honey, she said she did not want to be sleeping with him in sin, even though you did it while you guys were not married and in Akira's house, because you lied and said that your ex-husband was beating on you and it was a whole lie, but you said that so that you could move in with Akira and Devon, and while Akira was gone, honey, you was over there sleeping with her husband in her house. Y'all remember we already talked about it. So anywho, long story short, Brene and Devon these two are going to be on Tamron Hall, okay? I mean, Tim, that's Tim, not Devon, but Tim. Her ex-husband is Devon. But this is Tim Montague, which was married to Akira Montague. All right. So this is Brene, who got a whole lot of shit going on. Okay. She just got her wages garnished because she refused to pay anything to Akira Montague, who won the $1.7 million. She tried to be a smart ass and go down there and put $2 on it and then hopped her ass on TikTok to say, oh, I'm not paying her anything. She'll never see a dime from me. So now they've garnished her wages and they found out that she makes $25K per month via social media. Okay. So so they got to go to court for that coming up here soon. She also asked for a retrial because she said she wasn't properly represented because her lawyer decided to drop out of the case. I think it was 1 week before she and Akira were set to be in court. So she wound up representing herself and she lost. So now but Brene and Tim are set to be on the Tamron Hall show this coming Friday. I think I might watch just to see what this bitch got to say because she is very slick with the mouth and she just don't care. She does not like Akira because Akira won this case. So I'm mad that they're getting all of this attention online and that she is kind of, monetizing from this pain of this woman that she stole her husband, who she used to be friends with, because Akira was like, hey girl, your man beating on you, come over here, safe space, come stay in the house, and now you're over there sleeping with her husband and now you got this case on you. It is what it is. But they are from North Carolina, which we know alienation of affection cases, you can file that against someone in North Carolina if you feel that someone is messing with your spouse, which is what they did. Okay, but these two here will be on Tamron Hall this coming Friday. All right. So let me put this up. As you guys can see, Friday, 12/12/25, ripped from the headlines. It says that Mallory, Haddagorn unravels the shocking double life of her ex-husband, featured in the new docuseries Hollywood Hustler Glitz, Glam, Scam. And then for the first time since the verdict, social media influencer Brene Montague talks having to pay her husband's ex-wife almost $2 million over alienation of affection claims. Timothy Montague joins the conversation. And the real Scott Cole the real Scott Cole, star of the iconic app. So this is showing who's going to be on Tamron Hall's show. Okay. So as you guys can see, Brene Montague and Timothy Montague will be on there. I'll watch just to see what they're talking about and what new tea we may find out. But you guys also know, let me put this back up so y'all know who we're talking about. Right here in the middle, Brene has a restraining order against her by Akira, where Brene was just arrested because she showed up to Akira's kid's school with Tim for some type of school function that that Akira and Tim's kids were having. It was already understood that Brene was not to be anywhere around Akira or their kids, but she showed up anyway. Akira called the police. She got arrested. So she still has to go to court for that. She still has to go back for the garnishment, where they asked for her pay stubs and her account information to show that she does make an adequate amount per month. So that's coming up. And plus, like I just said, the Tamron Hall show where they're going to be on there. I feel like she shouldn't say anything, being that this case is still like kind of open. She might say something to stick her foot up in her mouth or up her ass, maybe, that's going to be damaging to her, because you still kind of have an open case in the situation. So I would not have been on no damn show talking about shit when I owe somebody $1.7 million and they watching my ass every little thing that I'm doing. But go off, honey, because it seems like they're more so looking for fame in this situation. But I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Child, sound off. They're going to be on Tamron Hall this Friday. Okay, this Friday. Y'all see right here, 12/12/25. Brene Montague and Timothy Montague will be on the Tamron Hall. Okay, so that's the lineup in terms of what the show is going to be about on Tamron Hall. Okay. But they will be on Tamron Hall this coming Friday. So I'll be watching to see what the hell they're talking about, because I already know what the hell it's going to be. All right, well, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Okay, yes. They'll be on. Yeah, I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it just to see what they got to talk about. But Renee and old boy will be on there. This is Caramel. When will they be? Yeah, 12/12/2025, which is this Friday. All right. This Friday. Okay, so let's get out of here, guys. Thank y'all for stopping by. Almost 400 in the chat. Y'all are showing out today. I appreciate you stopping by my house, the Caramel Show. Let's get out of here. So to my top flight mods, True TV Podcast, Tower KBR, Sweet Essence, Scorpion Miss, and Rose Armstead. Thank y'all for modding and doing such an awesome job. Okay. Thank you, D Nice. It's a great show as always. Caramel. Hope everyone has a great day. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the content creators who usually stop by here. Deary Talk, Black Women in the Building, Schoolboy, Queen Speaks TV. Thank you so much, Jonetta Speaks, Simple Mom Family TV, Miss Dee. Thank you so much, JCD Creations, Shay P, and Shay Renee. Do we have anyone else, any other content creators that stopped by that I don't know about? Because y'all know when I'm into my show, I don't really watch the chat like that. Let me know, Moz, before we get out of here, because I got to check out. Nobody else. If nobody else, of course, thank you to all of my Caramelians for stopping by and supporting the video. Please don't forget to like the video, share the video, and subscribe to the channel. Also, go over to my other channel, Rails World, and you can subscribe over there as well. We're starting to add content over there, so you guys be on the lookout for that as well. She says, that's it. Thank you to everyone who joined the video today and also supported as well. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I can say. But let's get out of here until the next video. Bye.